Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's On at DisneyPlus.com. I'm here with Melanie from Under Wraps, and just want to say thank you very much for taking your time out to see us today. And just want to ask you, could you tell us a little bit about your Under Wraps and what it's all about, please?
Under Wraps, it's a remake of the first ever Disney Channel original movie. It follows three 12-year-old friends, Gilbert, Marshall, and Amy, as they accidentally revive a mummy, who they end up befriending and naming Harold. But it turns out that Harold has to be returned to his sarcophagus by midnight on Halloween, or else it's bad news for Harold. So the movie sort of follows that journey of the kids. They run into a few other really fun characters in the process. And yeah, it's a blast.
Yeah. And what's your character in Under Wraps?
My character is Buzzy. So Buzzy runs the local Halloween shop in town, and she's sort of an expert on all things horror. So when the kids discover this mummy, she's the first person they think of to go get advice.
Yeah. And I have to ask you, are you at all like your character in the film?
Do I what?
Are you at all like your character in the film?
Oh, am I at all? Yeah. Yeah, I am. I am a bit of a nerd. Not specifically when it comes to horror, but in other areas, I can definitely relate to being obsessed with a certain subject matter.
Yeah, it's cool. And I gotta ask, because since your character is an owner of a Halloween shop, what kind of costume would you like to wear this year for Halloween if you do get to go out?
That's a really good question. Because I know that some people are already planning on cosplaying as Under Wraps characters. So I think that's so fun. I think that would probably be really nerdy if I dressed up as an Under Wraps character, but it's not completely out of the question. I like classic horror stuff. So like a good scream mask, a good like vampire,
Yeah.
just something classic, you know.
And I mean, the mummy's always kind of the easiest one to do as well.
And the mummy, yeah, just throw a sheet on your body, you're good.
And I have to ask, what was the impact of COVID on filming on the film?
It was a pretty big impact. We filmed last November and December, so it was in the midst of COVID, but we were able to sort of escape the States and head up to Vancouver. So in Canada, it was a bit of a better situation,
Yeah.
but it did impact set. You know, we had to go up there 2 weeks early, completely quarantine. The rules were incredibly strict. We got tested pretty much every day. So it definitely, it took a lot of time and effort, but it was worth it because it felt very safe on set.
And kind of being kind of one of the main adults on the set, how did that kind of feel like, obviously working with some of the stars from the movie?
Yeah, it was awesome. I love the kids. I was a little bit nervous. I had never worked with kids in that capacity before, but they are incredible. We all became honestly really, really good friends. Like age was not even a factor.
And I'm going to ask, how does it feel knowing that this film is sort of finally going to be hitting the Disney Channel and Disney Plus for Halloween?
It feels so good. I know a lot of people were really hoping the original would come on Disney Plus, but I can assure you that this version it has the heart of the original, but even better, if I say so myself.
And because kind of you got involved in like all like the action scenes and stuff like that in there, did you have to do any like, did you have stunt doubles or anything for anything like that?
Yeah, we did. We all pretty much, yeah, we all had, the leads had stunt doubles. I know our mummy, played by Phil Wright, who's an incredible dancer, did most of his stunts on his own. But yeah, the kids and I had stunt doubles, which was cool.
And also recently appeared in a American Horror Story audio kind of podcast thing. How did that kind of come about, and what did you feel about doing something very different to Under Wraps?
Yeah, that was awesome. That was just a random audition. I'm also a fan of American Horror Story, so it was really cool to work in that universe. But it was interesting because while they're both horror based, obviously they're incredibly different genres.
Yeah.
So it was fun to sort of work on both close together.
Yeah. And would you like to be actually in the main American Horror Story series as well?
Oh, absolutely. Ryan Murphy, are you
Yeah.
watching?
Yeah.
I'm available.
Yeah, it's a kind of incredible series, and just kind of it's
Cool.
just kind of, it is great to have it. So I've also got to kind of ask, really, as our sort of final question, really, is what has been your favorite Disney Plus original so far? Yeah.
I really, doing Under Wraps was so special for me because I grew up on DCOMs, truly. And just on Disney Channel in general. Lizzie McGuire, I based my personality off of Lizzie McGuire. So that's an incredibly hard question. I mean, the impact of High School Musical cannot be understated. It was
Yeah.
huge. But I do have to say that I think if I had to choose, Cadet Kelly.
Oh, right, yes.
Christy Carlson Romano in Cadet Kelly. I think that would have to be my favorite. But we also must shout out High School Musical and High School Musical 2 and High School Musical 3.
Yes. I'll give a shout out to Descendants. That's kind of been one of my favorite ones recently. And also, just kind of wanted to also just say as well, what about a Disney Plus original? Kind of, which one would you like to see from there?
So over quarantine, my little sister and I watched all of the Marvel universe from the beginning. I hadn't seen any of it, and WandaVision blew my mind. I think I would have to pick WandaVision.
Okay, yeah, no, it's a great series. Yeah, so on that, just want to say thank you very much for taking your time out today to speak to me. And as I say, you can see Under Wraps on the Disney Channel on the 1st of October, and you'll find it on Disney Plus on October the 8th. And thank you very much for joining me.
Yeah, thanks, Roger.
Cheers, thank you. I'd like to thank all of our Patreon and YouTube channel members for their support. You can become a member from as little as $2 a month, and you get access to our weekly Q&A and much more.